So, the latest leg of the Hittite Research Trail tour brings me here to Georgia, and I'm here on Ureki Magnetic Beach, so called because of the black magnetic sand, which is proving to be very soothing on the soles of these rather tired feet. So, and you can see the Black Sea here, or the Colchis Euxinus splashing away gently on the shores, again very therapeutic. And possibly in distance, I'm not sure if you can see due to the haze, but that's the Lesser Caucasus Mountains. So why am I here and what's the relevance to the Hittites? Well, this land wouldn't have belonged to the Hittite Empire. In fact, it would probably only have been on the edges of even the vassal kingdoms that were controlled by the Hittite Empire. So really it's on the fringes of the Near East world, in fact, of the Bronze Age. But interestingly, legend has it that Jason and his Argonauts travelled here to this land in search of the Golden Fleece at a time when this place was known as Colchis. And the legend again has it that this may have happened immediately prior to the Trojan War. Now this is of course of great interest to me because Empires of Bronze begins in the decades before one of the mooted dates for the Trojan War. So you can see why I've got an eye on the place. But yeah, largely we're here as well to get a little bit of a break after many sleeper trains with not much sleep, taxis, buses and so on, just to get a little bit of downtime before moving on. It's nice to have the chance to just collapse on a lounger in a place like this and crack into some research reads. But also along the way I've been able to have a few leisure reads, which has been good. So I thought I would do a quick fire review of the books I've read. So the first one was David Gemmell's Waylander 2 in the Realm of the Wolf. Right, Gemmell is my hero, no doubt about that. What I would say though is maybe this book isn't his finest, but it's still effortlessly brilliant. It's got everything, the quirky characters, the sort of pithy aphorisms, and the really sharp, insightful moral example, as well as the usual epic quest that's threaded throughout the story that you come to expect from a Gemmell novel. So very, very, very good. The second book was John Niven's Sunshine Cruise Company. So this is a story about some late 50s, 60s, 70s and 80-year-olds who get together and because of personal circumstances decide to rob a bank, as you do. That's early on in the novel, and the rest of the story goes on to describe their madcap escape across Europe from the law. Now, if you haven't read John Niven, I'd really recommend that you give him a try. His prose is excellent, it flows like wine, and the humour is something else. It goes from like high witticisms, and he's not afraid to plunge right down into the gutter, which is a perfect mix for my tastes anyway. And then my third read was Thomas More's Utopia, so that was my clever read for this trip. So why that? Why did I choose that book? Well, having read Plato's Republic and been enchanted by it, and having found out that Utopia was heavily influenced by the Republic, I picked up a copy thinking, okay, let's give it a go. And to be honest, it's not a long work, but to be fair, it's quite tough going because the rhetoric and the use of language is of its time, so it's not familiar to the modern eye, and it did take me a while to get into, but once you do get used to the style, it's very, very thought-provoking. It's as opposed to being a kind of outline of a fantasy utopian society and government, it's more of a satire, a scathing criticism of the government and politics of Sir Thomas More's time. So well worth a read again. And I've just started a new book today, The Lost City of the Monkey God. So that's about a real life exploration into the jungles of Honduras for a Mayan era city which has been talked about since the time of the conquistadors, similar to El Dorado, so again, right up my street. But yeah, we're So we're here for another day or two, and then we're heading further east to Tbilisi, Georgia's capital, for a bit more historical exploration. So I'll do another video there, but first of all I need to decide how to spend my time here. So I could go off into those mountains, perhaps search for the Golden Fleece, maybe even fight some skeletons, or I could stay on this beach and read my books. Tough choice. Anyway, I'll see you in Tbilisi. Bye.